It's almost the most important thing for digital news organization to get right. Because you should be extremely nimble and you should be extremely flexible as to what you do, what you stop doing, and what you try to continue, well, what you try to come up with as new approaches. And I think that data helps you with that. One of the things which I find really interesting, and there are two aspects of that. Journalists know about their data, and you share that information, and then journalists share it within themselves. They say, actually, I have done that for the website last week, and it worked better than what I have done a week before, because I was told by my audiences team that this particular thing worked better than the other. And I think that you always need to. In the past, we probably were. Rightfully so, in TV and radio world, you almost always, because we all know how flawed the metrics are for radio and TV. It's very outdated, and nobody quite knows, how these boxes capture the audience and all that kind of rating things. Digital, everything is measurable, absolutely everything. And if I come to my audiences people and say, I want to understand how this particular beat is consumed on tablets by this particular country on weekends, it's very easy to do, very easy to do. And the same you go for journalists, and you say, well, imagine a situation where you relaunch your website and the journalists say, well, actually, I really want to have a sports section on the website. You analyze how they were covering sports in the past, and you say, actually, it was the worst performing section on your website. Is this the right way of investing money? And once we actually closed, when I was still with the Russian service, BBC Russian service, we closed one editorial position to introduce one's social/partnership position, because their task was to actually push stuff out and measure everything on social. And it was important to get that better, get that done better, rather than maybe having a producer who would just create, say, 6 pieces of content every day. The engagement of existing content is based on knowing your data and good journalism, but they need to be connected. When I was introducing video to the Russian website years ago, and my first task was to make sure that the numbers for video, for individual video, start to compete against the numbers for individual text story. As soon as this happens, you realize that audience appreciated the new format and your job is done, and that becomes business as usual. The same thing, if you think that actually on SoundCloud you are being consumed on the same level as on your destination site, that's just additional audience. And sometimes things really go well, because if you look at the phenomenon of serial podcasts, you probably have heard about it in NPR, This is American Life, series about a real-time crime story. The most popular podcast in iTunes history, out of nothing. Who would have thought that people would be glued to audio for 45-50 minutes every week? But this has happened. This was never done before. Now I'm sure there will be lots and lots of people trying to do the same thing.